All right, lined up on our next pass through. This is supposed to be pawpaw that I've never came in, so I didn't plant it yet. The autumn olive there, surrounded by more cowpea. Again, I'm not planting any of that. Another jujube. I mean, if you look at that compared to the jujubes that I showed you in the food forest, the main food forest, that's power hugelkultur is what that is. Plain and simple. This is a 1-year matured system, well amended, and you know, you just can't afford to put the kind of amendments into a food forest like we planted over there for the size of it that you can into something like this. In fact, I want you to think about this. If you said trees were $30 average a tree, and because you didn't amend the soil, you lost 10 trees, and you had to replace them going into the next season, that's $300. $300 would not coat that area with a 1/2 inch of compost. So you have to kind of grow your own in those situations, develop your own support. Here is a tree that we pretty much lost, and that's one of those dogwoods I was talking about. That's kind of sad. Another autumn olive, really beautiful looking apple. That tree was just planted this year, and it's just looking gorgeous there. I'm missing stuff, I know, as I go through here, but I'm doing what I can. Here's another one of those dogwoods. You see, they are just not happy. I got some new growth on this one. I'm just trying to coax these guys through. They're my Cornelian cherries is the other name for them. They're going to be a fall planting from now on anywhere that they go. I've got some I showed you earlier that I'm nursing in the nursery. This is another autumn olive. This guy here, let's see what we got here. We got us, oh, this is a Brooks cherry. So that's a Brooks cherry. Low chill cherry. Another autumn olive. And then this little plum here, that's just a pretty looking little tree, is a Satsuma plum. So that's growing really well. This is an Illinois everbearing mulberry right here. And I'm gonna give it a little bit of nitrogen. It's looking pretty good, but its leaves are just a little bit light green in some areas, and it probably could use a boost to get itself established. Now here's what I was talking about. The difference a year makes. First of all, I'm gonna go on the back side so I don't step on this, but that's another volunteer watermelon. I did not plant that. Huge comfrey plant right there. That is an elderberry. It was planted at the same time those little itty bitty elderberries were planted that I showed you there. It's got blossoms on it. It's gonna set a little bit of berry this year. It is just, I mean, if you think about what that thing is gonna look like next year, it is gonna be monstrous. And we got lots of bees to take care of the pollination. And hey, I just checked out a thing, what is that called? Angry Orchard apple cider. They have got a summer pack with some limited editions in it. One is elderflower cider. It is fabulous. You only get 2. You get 3 of everything else. You only get 2 of those. But I'll have some surplus elderflowers, so I'm thinking elderflower mead. Another Cornelian cherry, and you can see, like I said, the one surrounded by the sunflowers is the one that's doing good. Some volunteer squash of some kind. Strawberry coming up there. There's that stupid weed again. I'd resist pulling it out because I'm trying to figure out if it does anything useful. That's a Nanking bush cherry. Another jujube. Okay, this has been shaded. This is another one of those dogwoods that's been shaded a little bit by what I'm about to show you, and it's doing better, but not great. The more shade, better for establishment. This is called Tillamook popping sorghum. There's a huge clump of it here, and it takes a while for these seed heads to develop. And it's a sorghum that you can use like a small popping corn. And this is all volunteer. I need to actually get in here with the machete and cut this down, but I've been leaving it because it's shading that poor dogwood that's so unhappy. You can see I really tried with these dogwoods. I put a lot of them in. A little plum there. There's some raspberry coming up down in here. These are golden raspberries. I think they're Ann is the variety. There's one behind there you can't see. Another dogwood, and it's, you know, my concern is, will it make it through August? If it makes it through August, we'll be all right. But clearly the way to do those is to pot them up, keep them in a nice sheltered, loving environment, and put them in early fall. That's, I think, the way to establish that tree in these harsher environments. Another elderberry, again, just blowing up. Coming through here, got asparagus, purple asparagus, big clump of sunflowers, lots of shade. Gooseberries tucked in underneath here, getting established in the shade. We won't need as much protection next year, hopefully. More asparagus in there. Let me just pull back for you, give you a look at this and get a feel for it. And way out there where that Illinois mulberry is, you can see that is the northeastern corner. We put it there so that if it gets out of hand, most of this we're going to keep pruned about head height, a little higher than head height. But if that one gets out of hand, it's got plenty of room. It can grow back there without shading the rest of the place out. And people might say, what about all that grass? Well, that's all trees. You know how you control Bermuda grass? With shade. And as we keep planting this area and we keep growing this area and we keep increasing that canopy, it'll be less and less of an issue with Bermuda grass. And right now, what's nice is I just let the geese in here and all they eat is the grass, the comfrey, and the cowpea. They leave everything else alone. So it's food for them. And while they're in here, they do me a favor and put more of that nitrogen I need on the ground. With that, I got one more thing I want to show you what's going on in my greenhouse. Hey, look who's here. Buddy and the ducks. Hold on, we'll have one more video in this series for you.